What is up, ballers? Hey, Jeremy, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Mr. Ball?
Good. We're here with Jeremy Shatan from AnEarful Blog. And tonight we are talking about great singers with weird voices. So if you know one, put it in the chat. Speaking of chat, let's say hello to the ballers joining us. Yo-Ya420 is back in the house. Epsilon Omega 5, what's up? Bob Cronin, hey, you look familiar. Georgia Constitution Media, FTP, baby. Captain Love Handles, hey. Queen Brittany Diamond Miller, the Chipette, what is up, my friend? All right, guys, so, and we're actually going to have a preview of the Smiths video as well, so that'll be cool. But let's get right into it, yeah. Jeremy. You wanted to talk about Louis Armstrong first.
I do. I think Louis Armstrong came out of tradition of blues and jazz, obviously helped invent part of what became that tradition.
Yeah.
And I think that he has such an unusual voice. It's very gravelly, raspy is a word commonly used. Now, these were actually products of various rumors that I've heard. One was that he blew his voice singing on the street corner, trying to be louder than everyone around him. But
really?
Probably more credible is that when he was about 20 years old, he was born in 1901. When he was about 20 years old, he was singing and playing the trumpet on a steamboat on a very cold night and got a really bad infection, which probably led to inflammation. And so his voice got that distinctive raspy tone. He even had surgery in the 30s and 40s to try to smooth it out. And it actually made it raspier, although somewhere I read that may have saved him from becoming voiceless altogether.
That's crazy. I never knew that it was I figured that was just kind of either how his voice was or an affectation. I didn't realize it was like a medical condition he had led to that.
A combination of a lot of different things. But the fact is that one of the takeaways we can get is that you don't need to have a conventionally beautiful voice to communicate with great beauty and passion and emotion. And he did it so well that I think he kind of set a template that a lot of people could take from going forward. Another cool thing about his voice is that it was a contrast to other people's voices. I think one of his greatest records as a singer is the one he made with Ella Fitzgerald, where they did the Paul, Porgy, and Bess.
Yes.
The two of them singing all the parts. Obviously, he played a lot of trumpet.
Their records they made together, yeah. She's so
smooth,
velvety, and he's got such tone and texture, and they're also both amazing singers that can emote so well. Ballers. Yeah. You really can't miss with any of they made several records together.
They did. Ellen Lewis again, and Ellen Lewis.
Yeah, T for Two, I think was the name of one of them. They're really good.
They did Can't We Be Friends? Really marvelous recording of that.
Yes, I mean, yes, great point. All right, let's move on. Oh, sorry.
Before we move on, I just want to mention in the 60s, he had a resurgence with Hello Dolly, which knocked the Beatles out of the chart, if I remember correctly.
What?
And also, We Have All the Time in the World, for the James Bond movie, and What a Wonderful World. These were songs that were kind of sappy,
right,
or corny, but the fact that his voice cut through that made them more palatable.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. All right, while you're sipping that, I'm going to switch over to Dylan. Bob Dylan, one of my favorite artists that you selected him. I mean, same kind of deal, that texture, that timbre.
Yeah, he was obviously inspired by Woody Guthrie, by blues singers, maybe even by Louis Armstrong. I also think someone like Jimmy Durante, who was a comedian most of the time, but could also lay you out with a rendition of a song. And the thing about Dylan is, how many times have you heard somebody say, Dylan can't sing?
Right, yes.
Now, that's where we get to the difference, is that Dylan had a very distinctive voice, has a very distinctive voice. He's probably out performing somewhere tonight. He's always on the road.
Yeah.
But it's the way he uses it, the phrasing, the twists he gives to the melodies, and the way he spaces out words that prove him to be an expert singer. An absolute one of the best of all time. And what you have to do is you have to erase the difference between a conventionally beautiful voice. I don't know why I'm going out of focus. Sorry, everyone.
No worries.
And someone who is communicating to you with their voice. It's totally fine if you prefer cover versions of his songs, but to
Yeah.
say he's not a good singer is just factually incorrect.
Yeah, he has so many great records that you should check out. If you think he's a bad singer, check out New Morning.
Well, that's true. And I was actually going to say, one of my kind of less favorite records by him is Nashville Skyline.
Mm-hmm.
I like some of the songs on there, but there's a few kind of clunkers. And that was
Right.
the time he actually started taking vocal lessons. He wanted to learn how to
Right.
croon, and you can hear he's kind of singing in the back of his throat. I'm kind of glad he dropped that after a couple of albums.
Yeah,
Sing from the
yeah.
heart, not the throat.
That time period is my favorite time period is like New Morning, John Wesley Harding, that another side of Bob Dylan kind of time period. I guess I don't know if it's in any
Another side
case.
is way earlier in those.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But in any case, yeah, those early '70s, those couple of records. All right, hold on a second. Courtney Barnett.
Oh, so we're doing all three of mine in a row. Okay. So
Oh
Courtney
yeah.
Barnett
Okay. Sorry. Is
is one
that
of the
not right?
great. She's one of the great artists of our time right now, of the 2010s and the 2020s. She came out around 2017 or so, and her first song that got a lot of attention. I actually remember where I was when I first heard it. I was listening to All Songs Considered. I was going to get my 3 o'clock coffee, or maybe I was leaving work on 168th Street and Fort Washington Avenue, and I heard Avant Gardner, where she tells the story of being out in the garden and she gets an asthma attack that lands her in the hospital. And she tells it in
Wow.
such a wry, deadpan, communicative, direct way that it it works almost against the poetry of her lyrics.
Yeah.
It's just a great combination. And I was just doing some reading about her to see what other people were saying, and I liked the guy who said she was more Lou Reed than Lou Rawls.
That's what I was gonna say. She sounded like Lou Reed. That sort of
Right.
like deadpan, like almost like so chill and relaxed while delivering the vocal that it's
Yeah,
just
it's almost talk singing, but she
right.
definitely has melodies and follows them. I also think that one thing that's cool about her is that so much of the time when you hear about people with unusual voices, you are talking about men. And how many women, maybe Chrissy Hine did a little bit of Lou Reed kind of
Yeah.
cool in her voice, but
Yeah.
a lot of times women are more expected and rewarded for having conventionally pretty voices. And Courtney Barnett just cuts through all of that.
Yeah,
Great
she's
songwriter,
cool.
great guitarist. She plays without a pick. It's fantastic to watch. I've seen her live a couple of times. She really is wonderful.
And she does some sort of experimental music pieces as well that are
Hmm.
instrumentals and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
saw a
she has
couple of
a
videos.
documentary coming out about, I think it's about her, and she did the soundtrack to it, and that's some of her more recent stuff. But
Um,
all of her albums are terrific.
all right, I'm gonna go to the chat real quick before I go
Woohoo.
to the last two. Queen Brittany Diamond's birthday is coming up. Queen Brittany Diamond, your birthday is tomorrow,
Happy
but
birthday.
your real birthday is on Sunday.
Oh,
The going to the zoo, right on. Um, let's see here. Yes, it is a Big D Kids in the Kids Table poster in the background there. Yeah, What a Wonderful World. Yes, classic. When I was DJing weddings, I played that at many, many, many a wedding. It was expected, really. All right, hold on a sec. I'm going to move the chat box to a more visible location.
yeah.
Um, let's see. Mark Knopfler was compared to him at first. Oh, you mean Dylan? Yeah, I
Mm.
think I've heard that too. Yeah.
He had a little
Um,
bit of that. He also had a little bit of the talk singing that Lou Reed did when you think about Sultans of
oh,
Swing,
yeah.
his big hit.
Yeah, that whole Guitar George vibe. Um,
He also played
what?
guitar for Dylan on two fantastic records. So
Oh, really? Which records is he on?
he is on Slow Train Coming and Infidels.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
Yeah, that's that 80s period.
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second. Andrew Horowitz from Tally Hall, and I think he has kind of an unusual voice, and I like it a lot.
Okay.
Epsilon One Amigo 5 says, cool. I don't know him, but I'll check that out.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah, let's see here. All right, let's go to my. I had a couple. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
do
that's
them
fine.
like
I just don't want to be the
not
one
mix
doing
them up. No,
all
but
the
you can
talking.
wait. No, that's cool. So here's one that I picked was Mimi Goes. Now she's done some stuff since then, but the
Hmm.
ones I'm kind of calling out here are her records with Hugo Largo. I heard her voice described, or I read her voice described as, with this within the context of this music, a butterfly flitting among boulders, because it's like there's a bass sort of being played as a guitar sort of line, but a bass line as well, and there's violin, and um, it's sort of ambient but really cool. Drum, their second record, I believe, was produced by Michael Stipe. Metal, I think,
Hmm.
is a little bit better. I mean, they're both great, and they're actually cheap. You can find them on Discogs or something cheap.
Interesting.
Cheap.
I remember when they were coming out, and actually, my old acquaintance Tim Summer plays bass. He's one of the two bass players on those records.
You know the guy. You know Tim.
Tim Summer?
Yes.
Well, he did Noise the Show on the NYU radio station.
So
One
do
of
you
the
think
first
he would
places to play the Beastie Boys.
really? Are you going to tell him about that I plugged his band? I love this
He'll
record.
love it. He'll love it.
His,
He still talks about how great he thought Hugo Largo was.
oh my god, I love them. In fact, there was one time when I dropped psychedelics and listened to metal, and it was like I was in this room with colored lights and stuff, and like I was like at a call for just visiting a friend at college, and they everybody left, and I was just there, and I was listening to this CD of metal, and it was
Mm.
amazing. It was an amazing experience. I mean,
I don't think I ever
um,
heard that one. I definitely heard drum.
yes,
Also,
Michael.
I saw them live when they were even before that record was started.
So tell Tim I would love to have him. Please ask him to come on the show. I
I
think I
will. Yeah, that would be great.
please do. I want to have interview him about the. I love that band.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean oh my gosh, that's so
But I
exciting.
will
You
let you
think it
know
would?
that the New York Times says her last name is pronounced Gazy.
Oh really, Gazy? Okay, Mimi Gazy, not Mimi. Okay,
Yeah.
and she's doing stuff with Ben Neal now, and some other. She's got recent projects that have gone on and
Yeah,
stuff,
she was
and
working with him. I'm reading an article from
she did a whole
1998. She was working with
yeah
him.
she did a whole all for a couple decades,
Hmm.
so much so that I was like, are these guys like dating, or like, do they have a personal connection of some kind? but
I
then
don't
but
know.
but then I was like, and then I saw that she's doing like soundtrack work for Stranger Things, and she did something for The Sopranos or something,
Hmm.
and and she had some songs appear in different things, but so yeah, she's still actively doing stuff. But Hugo Largo,
Yeah.
drum
Good.
is
Good
produced
pick.
in part by Michael Stipe, and he does backup vocals on it. And then of course Tom Waits, um, who, like, it's like you'd say that James Taylor's voice sounds like milk, and Tom Waits' voice sounds like whiskey.
Hmm.
Maybe Dylan sounds like root beer. Um, you know, there's a sort of quality to it, and I mean, again, like, it comes down to being able to really communicate a story and tell a story and be emotional while singing.
Yeah.
And it's not like, maybe he doesn't have a conventionally gorgeous, like a Tony Bennett velvety
Yeah.
voice, but man, can he make you feel.
I mean, he can be
uh
hilarious,
he could,
but he can also
yes.
completely rip your heart out.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll be
Yeah.
playing one of his albums, and my wife will say, "It's just too sad."
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
can really destroy you, and he's a fabulous songwriter too. I
What's
think he
what's
sort
the
of
best
blends
record?
together.
Rain Dogs. What's the best Tom Waits stuff? Spare Change, Rain Dogs.
Rain Dogs is fantastic. The one right before it, I can't remember the name of it right now for some reason. is really great. Oh, Swordfish Trombones. That was kind of the
Swordfish
first one of his
Trombones.
new phase.
Yes.
But I hate to say it, I think my favorite Tom Waits album is Bone Machine, which was one of his later albums.
Oh,
That's
that's a
just
good
an
record.
incredible album. The production, the songwriting, the variety, absolutely incredible. But did you read recently there was a story that was going around that Dylan had lunch with Tom Waits once and
Wow.
apparently floored Tom Waits by doing the entire conversation in his Tom Waits imitation.
I would have killed to be there for that.
Where was the
Captain
tape
Lo-
recorder?
Captain Lovehandle says that Tom Waits has 3 or 4 voices. I would tend to agree
I would
with that.
agree. I would agree. I also see him as an interesting combination of the Dylan folk-based kind of roughness, and then there's that beatnik jazz talk singing thing that probably you could find a record of from the 50s, some guy with bongos sort of
Right.
reciting poetry, especially on the earlier records when he
Rap, rap.
yeah,
Yeah,
doing
he
like
has
the
a-
boozy barfly persona.
Yeah,
before he
exactly.
became more arty. But and also there's a bit of Louis Armstrong to him too. You can't deny it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, gang. I enjoyed that. Now it's time for a special treat, which is we are going to watch the a preview of a segment of this new video we're making about the Smiths. And this is basically Morrissey when he was writing for music magazines and he ends up going to a Sex Pistols show. And it sort of talks about what happens at that show. It's about a minute long, so I hope you enjoy it. And then we'll be back for some memes. So stick around. Hold on a second. Let's go to it. Poet, small-time critic, and music singer, Morrissey became a presence on the Manchester, England music scene when punk exploded in the 1970s. His frequently printed letters to music magazines were filled with love for the New York Dolls and Patti Smith. Early on, they contained nothing but contempt for the Ramones and the Sex Pistols, bands he viewed as immature. In 1977, Morrissey ended up at a Sex Pistols show regardless. He was there solely to see one of the opening acts, the Heartbreakers, with his heroes Jerry Nolan and Johnny Thunders. Though Morrissey was the Heartbreakers' UK fan club president and greatest champion, Thunders and Nolan gave him the cold shoulder when he showed up at the soundcheck. Morrissey did connect with Mick Jones from The Clash that night. The two had spoken on the phone previously about Morrissey auditioning for Mick's band. Jones informed Morrissey that they had hired Joe Strummer as the Clash lead singer. It's fun, though, to imagine what a Morrissey-fronted version of The Clash might have sounded like. Also, Morrissey must have liked that Sex Pistols set, because after the show, he stopped bad-mouthing the band in the press.
Cool. Back when he was cool. Oh, wow.
Thank you. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, here we are. Yes, I was just saying, guys. Thank you very much, Epsilon. Yes, thank you very much. Mormino, what's up? So, yes, I was just saying it's cool that Morrissey could have possibly been the singer for The Clash. That would have been funny. All right, so we have music memes. You know the deal. Cool or drool. Let's get to them, okay?
All right.
So you're a Misfits fan? Name one song.
I will when I can talk.
Exactly. I give that a cool.
That's
You giving that a cool?
Yeah.
All right, great. Hold on a second.
But I don't necessarily think it's cool to call out people for wearing t-shirts.
No, but it's funny. It's sort of a silly. I thought the bit was
Yeah,
cute.
no, it's
It was
fun.
cute.
It makes fun of that whole idea.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Thank you, Mormino. All right, here we go. This is a good one. Oppenheimer if he'd invented ska instead.
That's a deer.
It's a good one, right? I like that. I give that a yes. We got a cool from Georgia Constitution Media and Love Handles on that first one. You guys, what do you think on this Oppenheimer one? You give that a cool?
Cool, yeah.
Okay, good.
Right.
Here's a good one. Two goth friends. They're not dating. They are just good friends. You know people like that, right? Two goth friends. I give that a cool, no doubt. You like that? That is correct. Two goth friends. Okay, we get this one. We get love, yeah. Okay, good. We Epsilon. We get it. Yo-ya, Epsilon Omega 5. Corey Simons. What's up, Corey? I should have said hi to you before. I saw you come in. I got so caught up in the discussion. All right, here's a good one. Props to the hard times. Terrified Greg Graffin promises to change name to Good Religion if Blaine survives turbulence. The guy from Bad Religion. I give it a... The Hard Times is really funny stuff sometimes.
The Hard Times had one that had me dying today. And it basically said, every injury you get after age 25 is permanent.
Yeah, exactly. I'm giving this Bad Religion one a laugh.
I'm giving it cool.
A cool, yeah. All right, here's a good one. We only got a couple left here. It's kind of sad, but they're all good, so it's cool. Here's when the sticker on a Greg Allman record makes it into an Eggman record. It's a Beatles thing. That's pretty funny, right? Best of Eggman. I thought that was funny. I give it a laugh.
It is funny.
Okay, good.
Tell it to a Beastie Boys fan.
Exactly. We had a cool one from... Yeah, exactly. Eggman, Beatles, Beastie Boys, exactly. All right, Corey Simons. Let's do a quick little score before the last one here. We got a laugh from... A cool from Corey Simons. Cool from Epsilon Omega 5. Mormino gives us... Yeah, Mormino says, I have those two friends. Yeah, exactly. A cool from Mormino. That's great. Also, yes, cool. Cool from Corey Simons. Eggman, yes. We're getting laughs, so everybody likes these. Okay, let's go to the final one. You're going to love this one.
Let's do it.
Bartender, the couple over there bought you a drink. The couple. Lux and Ivy from the Cribs. Oh, man. I would so accept that drink and be like, dudes, I am down. Where are you? I love the Crabs. I just thought that was so...
drinks with, like, dry ice smoke coming out?
Yeah, exactly. Who the hell knows what's in it, you know? Those two are the best.
I might have a friend taste it first.
It's sad. I have to say, it was sad that we lost Lux so young.
Yeah.
But, in any case, the Cramps. There we have it. Ballers. We were getting cools from everybody. I better rack them up. Have a great weekend, Jeremy. Cool
You
from
too,
Corey
man.
Simons. Corey from Love Handles.
All right.
Georgia Constitution Media is drinking. Congratulations. Have one for me. All right, ballers. I'm going to say have a great night. Toodles. And we will see you for next month for another one. And make sure you click the subscribe bell so that you get notified when the Smiths video comes out. It's going to be a good one. It's probably going to be 30 to 35 minutes long, but it's pretty in depth.
I'm psyched.
All right, thanks. Go to Earful Blog. Put it in the comments, Jeremy.
Put it in the comments.
Can you do that?
I can't.
Put a link to your blog?
I'm not on YouTube right now.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Toodles, everybody. Have a great weekend. Peace out.
Bye now.
And a one, and a two.
1, 2, 3, tennis ball, tennis ball. The world outside is making me so sad. But when I watch your show, it seems the world is just a joke, and things don't seem so bad. Your multi-personality is worth more than your pedigree. You're rolling with the punches like a champ. With all your skill, your show, and you like the room when you walk in.
That's just a laugh.